Ladies and gentlemen, after all the things that have happened over the Premier League weekend, Manchester United are now in the front running for top 4 if we win this game. Now, there are big things that are going to happen and everything is changing at the moment. But the one thing that stays the same is Manchester United's pursuit for top 4 and pursuit to win every game left remaining of this season. Can we do it? Let's hope so. And let's see if I think we can do it against Southampton right now. What's up everybody, it's the Aidan Sports Show and welcome back to another video. This is going to be a Manchester United versus Southampton match preview, match predictions, where I go through the starting 11 of every single player that I think will play in this game, give my score prediction at the very end of the video, and also kind of explain how I think this game is going to go. Now, of course, my predictions are probably not going to be perfect. My score predictions usually are not perfect, but at the end of the day, it's a relatively close battle between Southampton and Manchester United, I believe. I definitely think this is going to be a rather difficult game compared to the most that we've versed recently. So before we get started, please like and subscribe to the Aidan Sports Show YouTube channel. Turn notifications on, share the video and the playlist, and I would love to know in the comments below what your guys will be. Who is going to score the goals? What is the scoreline going to be when the 90th minute is there and the final whistle blows? I'd love to know. Let me know in the comments below. Without further ado, let's get into this. The first thing I need to say, especially when it comes to Southampton, this game is going to be just as difficult as any other game we've had in this period of the Premier League returning. The reason why is Southampton is a very good defensive team, and they've had a very good, decent run of form as of late. However, Manchester United, just like any other game that we've played recently, Manchester United need to win this game. This is a must-win game, and I hope and pray that they come out of this game thinking it's a must-win game and they go out and go all guns blazing once again. Manchester United's run of form has been incredible. I believe it's 15 unbeaten at the moment, or could even be 16. So we have demonstrated that we can definitely go on runs of incredible form, and we need this run to continue for the most part. Otherwise, top 4 again is another opportunity slipped away from Manchester United. We cannot let that happen. A draw will make things slightly better, but I think a win is an absolute must in this game because it just gives us the advantage that we're looking for here. Now, my top 4 prediction still stands. I still think Chelsea will make the top 4. I think because in the end we're going to be versing Leicester, and things might that might determine whether or not we actually shape the top 4 battle or not. But my priority focus is just to get into the top 4, and after this game we could very well be in the top 4, and it's important that we take that opportunity when we can get it. And yeah, in the end, let's just hope that we can go and grab this victory and go and see whether or not Leicester have an answer for what we can provide, or if Chelsea have an answer for what we can provide. Either way, those are the 2 targets that we have in our sights, and let's hope we can take them out. So let's go into the starting 11 prediction that I think Manchester United will have against Southampton. Now, this starting 11, just like every other starting 11, is probably not going to be any different. Honestly, it's probably very easy to predict this starting 11. So I'm going to try and go rather quickly here, because if anybody doesn't know the starting 11 by now, it's probably going to be the exact same. I don't see anybody resting. I think this game is too important. Maybe the rest will come around FA Cup time against Chelsea, or maybe we just don't rest anybody for the rest of the season. I don't really know. That's Ollie's decision. Hopefully everything works out in our favour. So David De Gea in goal. Again, a little bit of a stumbling block for David De Gea. People are not quite sure what to think about him. In my opinion, David De Gea is still a fantastic goalkeeper, and in the end, it's just one of those things where it's a confidence issue. And I feel like if there was fans in the arena, I think his confidence would be much higher up, because he's going to have the people singing for him, people supporting him. I feel like a lot of people do support David De Gea, but for the most part, people want him to get dropped, or people want him to leave. But yeah, in the end, that's the minority of the people, and I truly believe David De Gea is still world class, and I believe next season, hopefully next season, he can show it. Going into the right back position, Aidan Wan-Bissaka. Now, Aidan Wan-Bissaka didn't have the greatest of games against Aston Villa. In fact, he probably had his worst game of the season besides that game where he gave away a penalty. But it's just one of those things, man. Not everybody can have a great game every single game. And if people are getting on Wan-Bissaka's back, I think it's way too uncalled for, man. Everybody's allowed to have a bad game here and there. Not every player has a great game 60 games a year. Go look at Ronaldo. Does Ronaldo have a great game every year, every single game? Does Messi have a great game every single game? They're the two best players in the world, and they do not have consistently great performances. So Wan-Bissaka, we can't expect him to be the greatest right back in the world for 60 games every single game. Of course, in my opinion, he's the best defensive right back in the world, but you can't expect that out of him every single game. There's going to be a game where he makes a mistake. There's going to be a game where he's not in the right position. There's going to be games where he might not make that tackle, or he might concede a penalty. But either way, that's the whole part of the learning process for Aidan Wan-Bissaka. This guy is extremely young, and we're expecting the world out of him. So I'm going to give him a little bit of a break here. I don't think he needs to get that criticism that everybody's probably going to give to him. Same with Luke Shaw, but we'll get to that in another time. Yeah, so either way, I'm going for Wan-Bissaka, and my faith in him has not dwindled. I still believe he is a fantastic right back, and I still believe that he is the best defensive right back in the world, and I'm sure he will prove me right, and I can't wait to see it. Next up, I'm going with Victor Lindelof. Now, my prediction last week was wrong, so I thought Victor Lindelof was injured. And for the most part, he was injured, but he was fit enough to come back and play this game. And in my opinion, I thought Victor Lindelof had a very good game. People gave him a lot of stick for that partnership with Harry Maguire, and that still, for me at least, is a big potential issue that next season hopefully we can resolve, or maybe Twanzebe comes in. But regardless of what's the issue here, you can't deny a great player, a great performance from playing. Clearly, if he was injured and Manchester United were losing, he probably didn't want to come back. But we're in such great form, how could Victor Lindelof not want to come back and play? And that's good to see. You always want your players to come back no matter what the circumstances are. Victor Lindelof came back, and hopefully he's fit enough to continue the rest of the season, because I still think he's a fantastic centre-back that in the end will help us get top 4. And despite what people say about Eric Bailly or Twanzebe at the moment, I feel like Victor Lindelof is the most consistent out of those players, because Twanzebe has been injured all season. I love Twanzebe and I wish he would play. Eric Bailly, I'm still on the edge about, so I think Victor Lindelof is the safe option here. It might not be the safe option long term, but at least for now, he is the safe option. And Harry Maguire, again, the guy, I truly think he's going to play every single minute at the Premier League. This guy does not get a break at all. I can't believe this. It is Harry Maguire, man. He's the captain. People call him Mr. Reliable, Captain Harry, everything, man. You can call him whatever you want. I think Harry Maguire is probably our most consistent signing in terms of minutes. The guy has not gotten injured a lot this season, and when he has gotten injured, he's come back within a week. So yeah, look, high pain threshold, whatever Ollie wants to say, Harry Maguire has been a very, very consistent player for us, and I hope that he's fit enough to continue the season. Many people have questioned his fitness over the past few weeks due to the mistakes he's made, and I hope that's not the reason why he's making mistakes. Otherwise, we need to rest him a game. I don't know which game it's going to be. At this point, you should have rested him against Aston Villa or against Sheffield United or Brighton, because we've got tough games ahead. Even though the stature of the teams are not the same quality, the defensive mindedness of all these teams are great quality teams. West Ham will park the bus. Southampton will park the bus. And Leicester, well, I don't know what Leicester will do. But either way, and Crystal Palace as well will probably park the bus. But regardless of who's parking the bus or not, we probably needed Harry Maguire to take a rest, and he hasn't. So now we need to pray that he's fit enough for the rest of the season. And in my opinion, I think he will be. But again, at the moment, I'm at all-time high with terms of positivity. So anything can happen, but major things can change, and that's why we need to be very cautious and go out and win this game comfortably. We can't leave anything to chance, man. We can't leave anything to chance. Going into the left-back position, Luke Shaw. Now, first of all, happy birthday to Luke Shaw. yeah, I saw this on Twitter and I thought I should probably stay in the video. I knew I was making this video today anyway, so I thought I may as well. Happy birthday to Luke Shaw. And still people are disrespecting the hell out of this guy, even on his birthday, man. He had one of the best performances of the team last week, last game. And people are still going out and just absolutely abusing him, calling him fat, saying he can't cross, all these things, saying he's useless. Like, guys, I don't know where this has come from. Again, like, I've been only doing YouTube for 7 months, and for the most part, I knew still before then, I knew about the whole Luke Shaw agenda, but I didn't know there was this big, man. I didn't know if I looked at the comments on Happy Birthday Luke Shaw, the entire comments is just abusing him. Like, what does that say to our fan base, man? A player that's doing so well, and we just go and abuse him for, or body shaming him, or anything that you want to do, just for an agenda, just because he's not the player that you want at left back. Like, come on, man. This guy has been trying his ass off and honestly being one of our better players for I don't know how long now. At least 4 months, I would say. He's been a consistently fantastic player since Liverpool and Man City when he was playing as a left-sided centre-back. And for the most part, again, there are a lot of fans that gave him support. And that's great. Honestly, I think he needs support more than ever now because he's showing how good he is, and yet there are still people out there that are saying that he's not good enough, body shaming, abusing him for not crossing the ball, all these things, man, where he's doing everything right and people still don't give him that respect. So I hope someday, man, people will start to see what they're doing is wrong. Definitely disrespecting or abusing a player or abusing anybody for that matter is ridiculously wrong. And it's still 2020 and people are still doing this. So I hope for the time being at least, people give him the respect, and hopefully long term Luke Shaw can do the rest and he can prove everybody wrong. But in the meantime, guys, please stop abusing him, man. What's the point? Like, there's seriously no point. There's genuinely no point. I'm sure he doesn't mind because, again, I don't think he uses social media at all, really. But in the end, man, it's just not the right thing to do. So just stop it. Next up, we've got the CDM. Again, I think this formation is going to be a 4-3-3, but technically it's a 4-2-3-1 with Paul Pogba playing deeper. But Paul Pogba isn't really playing that deep, so I prefer to say a 4-3-3 with all of them rather attacking and Matic just being the one at the back. So obviously the CDM, as I said, is Nemanja Matic. Again, he didn't have the greatest of games against Southampton, against Aston Villa, but you could definitely see that there was still that incredible positioning, incredible defending, and in the end, I gave him a 7.5, and I was probably, a lot of people probably disagreed with that, but in the end, I gave him a 7.5, not because of the ball, not because he didn't have the ball, it's because of his positioning, man. This guy covered for every single player on the pitch, and that's what I love about him. That's why he gets my a high rating nearly every time. Even when he has a bad game, his positioning is pitch perfect most of the time. When you see Luke Shaw running on to deliver a cross, Matic is covering for him. When you see Wan-Bissaka, Matic is covering for him. Victor Lindelof wants to go forward, Matic is covering him. It's the same with every single player that is not an attacker that wants to bomb forward to have a little bit of a play up front. In the end, that is why Nemanja Matic is so crucial, and that's why I hope in the end we can get a player that's so similar to Matic, just a little bit younger, because he will that's an essential part of our team. If there's no Matic, there's no attacking force like we have now. Pogba will have to play a lot deeper just to help whether it's Scott or Fred play a little bit more. And I feel like Nemanja Matic is absolutely essential, and that's why I'm so happy that he's playing for us at the moment. I'm happy that he signed the contract. I know it's not the long-term solution that we all want, and I know it's just probably a way for Manchester United to just not buy CDM in the future. But at least for next year, I'm going to be excited to have Matic back, and hopefully his form doesn't change within the year, because we all know Matic, he can have a different run in form and then he can end up being dropped again. It's not the answer that we're going to need. So hopefully he stays consistent throughout the whole of next season, and let's see where we can go. Obviously the next centre mid, CDM, whatever you want to say, Paul Pogba probably had his best game last week, probably had a sensational performance. He scored a goal. Again, didn't turn the ball over, didn't put a foot wrong. I think Paul Pogba was the mastermind last week. That's what I liked. That's what I like to call Paul Pogba consistently, a mastermind, the person behind all the plays. And you could say that for Bruno, but I think it suits more Paul Pogba because he's not the one that's always going to be scoring. He's not the one that's always going to be present in the assist, but he's the one that's going to help set up the play. And for the most part, Bruno gets the stats, but Paul Pogba is the mastermind behind it. At least that's what I like to think in my head. Again, sometimes when I think about a dynamic relationship like Paul Pogba and Bruno, I like to think of storylines. Again, that's probably my wrestling background of watching wrestling for so long coming into play. Think of storyline, think of characters, think of nicknames for these guys. And I like to call Paul Pogba the mastermind. I genuinely do. I think he is the reason why a lot of our attacking plays go through and a lot of our goals come, even though the stats might not show it as much as we would like. And of course, Bruno Fernandes, again, this man, in my opinion, this man is Mr. Reliable. Whether he's having a bad game or a good game, he's always going to provide a stat that's going to make the team better. That's Bruno Fernandes in a nutshell, man. In my opinion, he was man of the match last week. A lot of people picked Greenwood, and to be honest, there's no shame in picking Greenwood at all. I mean, I think majority of the people pick Greenwood. So, yeah, looking at all the websites and stuff, Mason Greenwood was far and away the man of the match, and that's fair. Of course, that's fair. But for me, Bruno Fernandes was man of the match just because if Bruno Fernandes wasn't in this team, things would seriously, and I mean seriously, be so much different than what it is. And that's what makes Bruno Fernandes so essential to us. And I'm so happy that he's here. I get goosebumps thinking that in January we were actually going to get this player. And look, I'm not going to be one of those people that said I knew Bruno Fernandes the whole time. I didn't have a clue who he was last year, but now that he's here, everybody knows his name, and the top teams, they're going to come searching for him. So hopefully we can keep building that team, keep building the structure, keep building the foundation of Manchester United, get some winning trophies, and maybe, just maybe, he comes and he stays on a permanent basis until he's given everything he has to this club. That's what I hope. Let's see how things go. He's a fantastic player, isn't he? And that's why he needs to play every game. And that's why he's performing every game. The fans love him. I swear, when the fans come back to the Premier League, unfortunately, I won't be able to go to Old Trafford and stuff because I don't live in England. But the best part about a new player is the songs that they make about them. And unfortunately, due to no fans, there's not been many songs I've heard about Bruno Fernandes. There's only one. I want to see more. I want to see a song about Paul Pogba. I want to see a song about Mason Greenwood. All these players, man. I miss the fans so much. I mean, FIFA noises is fair. Honestly, it brings something to the game, but it's nothing compared to the real crowd. And I feel like everybody knows that. So hopefully things can change soon. In the end, it's not anybody's fault that this has happened. So we just have to let it be what it is. Going into the attackers, I'm going to try and keep this go a little bit quicker on this one. Marcus Rashford had his best game, I think, last week out of any game, despite not getting a goal. He was sensational in my opinion. He's getting the groove back, and I feel like Marcus Rashford will only get better with every game, and that's exactly what we need. Mason Greenwood has to play again. Daniel James' spot, I think, is officially gone. I don't think there's any chance Daniel James starts, and I love Daniel James, but Mason Greenwood is just the player in form. No one can take his spot at the moment, and again, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer said it himself, and we need to keep playing him this season, so he's going to play this season. It's just the way that it is. Hopefully he gets another goal. Why wouldn't he get another goal? I feel as soon as he gets the ball and he's running, I feel absolutely no I'm not scared. I'm not worried about what he's going to do. I know that it's going to be a good thing that he's going to do. He's going to go left, he's going to go right, he's going to shoot the ball. Again, this is just a world-class player developing. Well, he's going to be developing into a world-class player. And that's all that we want as a Manchester United fan base. We want Mason Greenwood to become a player that we can all be proud of. And so far, we're all extremely proud of him. And next season, it's the big step up, and then another big step up, and hopefully he becomes the player that we all think he can be. Then Martial, the number 9, the player that does all the dirty work but gets no, and I mean no, positive things around him whatsoever. Again, just because he doesn't score a goal, all the pundits are coming again saying we don't know if Martial's the number 9, but when he scores hat-tricks, you're all praising him. Like, it's not all the fans, I have to be honest. It's not all the fans. I think majority of the Manchester United fans do rate Martial, but I'm talking about pundits most likely here. I'm talking about the pundits. Pundits still can't make their mind up on Martial, and I don't know why. Like, does the guy have to score a hat-trick every single game just to get your approval as the number 9 of Manchester United? Name a striker that got a striker. Name a striker that got a hat-trick every single game. There's no one. Of course, there's going to be games where strikers don't score, man. But Martial's work ethic was so sensational. The plays that he made were so sensational. And, of course, he didn't get a goal, but people just want to specify, oh, because Martial didn't get a goal, man. He's not a number 9. Come on, man. You need to watch the game more openly than that. You need to be more open-minded just saying number 9 score goals. It's more than that. Look at Roberto Firmino. He gets what, maybe 12 to 15 goals a season. Not the best for a striker that's supposedly in there to win the league, right? But people don't ever criticize Roberto Firmino because he does so much more off the pitch. Does so much more off the other players, sorry, not off the pitch. Off of Salah, off of Mane. He makes them better. And that's why people don't ever criticize Roberto Firmino. But it's when Martial does it, people have to criticize because he's not scoring goals left, right and center. I think people need to get a grip on Martial. Give him the chance, man. Just stop talking about him and let him perform. And maybe, just maybe, you might end up having a change of opinion. That's all I have to say. Anyway, that's the team. I always go on a rant because I just feel like every time I check social media, it's abusing either Pogba, Martial, Luke Shaw, sometimes Matic. It just needs to stop. It needs to stop. There's no place for this at the moment. What have any of those players done wrong for them to get criticised? It's as simple as that. No one has done anything wrong. Save your criticisms to the end of the season. Save your criticisms until they have a bad game. Give them constructive criticism. Don't just say they're useless or they're not a number 9. Give them constructive criticism, and trust me, they will take it on board, man. Criticism is a very important part of the game. But when people don't deserve criticism or don't deserve the abuse, don't give it to them. It's not a hard concept to understand, man. I feel like just people do it just for the sake of doing it. Anyway, that's the team. It's a good team. It is a fantastic team. And Southampton, I feel like, will park the bus. And therefore, I'm going to make this a 2-0 Manchester United victory instead of a 3-4-5 goal that we've been scoring over the recent times. I feel like Southampton are a much better defensive side than we have come to face, maybe besides Spurs. But, again, I feel like we can beat Southampton. And I hope that we do, because it only makes our top 4 chance so much stronger now, and we need to go and get it. It's, again, if you look at the thumbnail of this video, it's going to have a must win in red, and every single one is going to until the end of the season, because every game is must win. Every game becomes more important than the last. Every single game means something more. And that's what we need. We need, and this is perfect pressure situations for players like Mason Greenwood as well. They're performing in high pressure situations, in a situation where if we lose, top 4 could very well be gone in any circumstance if we lose. And he's performing. That gives me faith for the Europa League to play Mason Greenwood. Play Mason Greenwood in the Europa League. It makes me feel confident, because if he's doing it now in high pressure situations, he could do it in a one game period with a cup for a Europa League final. Of course, it gives him that confidence, and therefore 2-0 victory for Manchester United. Who's going to score? Look, I think Mason Greenwood might as well score both. I'm just going to say Mason Greenwood will score both. Why not? Why not? Why not hype him up? Let's hype him up a little bit and see where he goes. Let's see where he takes us. Anyway, thank you guys for watching this match preview. Please like and subscribe if you're new to the channel. Share the video, share the playlist, and let me know in the comments below your scoreline, who you think is going to score, and if we can make top 4. I'd love to know if you think we'll make the top 4 as well. Again, a lot of Manchester United fans have a lot of different opinions. I'd love to know yours, and let's see where things go from here. Again, happy birthday to Luke Shaw. And if I miss someone else's birthday, I don't know, you know, sometimes I make videos. Anyway, yeah, I'm rambling now. Have a wonderful day. Take care.